WIBTA for continuing to wear a swimsuit in friend's hot tub? I am not the original poster. That is you, Valley's Hireth. She posted in r, Am I the Asshole? Mood spoiler. Light reading. Less than. Original post. February 20th. 2023. I'm currently spending the week visiting a couple that I've been friends with for many years now. I get on really well with both of them, and it's nice to catch up and spend some time in their part of the country. They have a nice house and recently added a private hot tub area out the back and said I was welcome to use it. It's got a small sauna, the hot tub, and an outdoor shower. It's all enclosed for privacy. They're fairly open about the fact that they use it naked. I know they've visited European spas where swimwear isn't allowed and stuff. They're not naturists, but they just prefer not to wear anything in spas. They've got some little jokey signs up in the spa area about being nude and another about etiquette, like showering before getting in the hot tub and sitting on a towel in the sauna, etc. But one of the etiquette rules said that swimwear was not allowed, and I ignored that. I get that it's their thing, but it's not something I wanted to do, so I wore my swimsuit. I left it to dry with the towels, which they noticed and asked if I'd worn it. I told them that I had, and they told me that it wasn't appropriate because they don't allow swimwear. For me, it just felt weird to get naked because it's just a preference, and anyway no one was around when I used it, so I didn't feel the need to follow that particular rule. I followed all the others. I said I just don't want to be out there naked and have someone come along and see me. I said I'd do it if they promise not to also use it while I am, or I don't mind them being naked, but I'd rather have something on. They both said that it's not a big deal to be naked in a spa, and that if I used it when they are out or working, then it's unlikely either of them will come out at the same time as me, but they won't promise to give me private use. They're saying as it's their house I should respect their rules and use it without my swimsuit, but they're basically saying that I can't object if they then come and join me while I'm naked. It wasn't a super heated argument, just a debate about the principle. They've told me I shouldn't use it if I'm not willing to do so nude, and accept that they may also want to use it at the same time. WIBTA if I ignore them and just keep wearing my swimsuit when I use it? Relevant comments. Where are they from? She is from the Netherlands, and this is happening in Wales. I said I'd be more comfortable if they let me use it privately at first, but she wouldn't agree to that if it was when they usually use it. I asked if I can wear a swimsuit with them at first, and she didn't agree to that either. Just said I could practice during the day while they're out, which seemed rude. Could it be for health, safety reasons? Ultimately, you are not entitled to use their spa, especially if you don't follow their rules. This is a fair point, and others have mentioned that there is more to it than just a cultural preference. I don't want to be TA here, and in fairness I've had it to myself the last 2 times I've used it when they weren't home, so I'll try it now without a swimsuit, and later I'll speak to them when they're home about why they have the rule. We didn't speak too much about why the first time, and more about the logistics of it. Small update from Oop in comments. Next day. I did use the spa again today when they were both at work, but kept my swimsuit on. My friends are definitely not sexual predators, and it's kind of wild how many people jump to that conclusion. But so many people said check for cameras, and I thought, you never know. Had a good look around, and there's nothing and pretty much no way to see into the spa either, so I wanted to clear that up. They came home from work and didn't say anything about it, and I didn't leave my suit out to dry, so they clearly have no idea I used it again while wearing it. She's Dutch, but she hasn't lived there in a while, so I was being a bit more stubborn because we're not in the Netherlands, and kind of wanted to make a point about the swimsuit, but I've seen plenty of comments about it being unhygienic and unsafe, which I hadn't considered before. I think perhaps on reflection I was being a bit defensive and stubborn. It's just a different culture. They're great people and I wouldn't want to ruin a friendship, so we'll speak to them tomorrow. Oop is voted NTA. Update. Same post. February 26, 2023. 6 days later. This post got way more attention than I was expecting, and some of the comments are wild, so I wanted to put an update to say how the rest of the week went. Firstly, they weren't trying to do anything sexual and there were no cameras. Before anyone asks, yes, I did check for the sake of being able to say that I have. There was nothing in my room, the bathroom, or outside by the spa. A Redditor sent me an article about it and a link to an app for detecting them, so I'm as sure as I can be that the place wasn't bugged. I, 28F, have known them, 26F, 29M, for 7 years. She is from the Netherlands originally and he used to live there, but we are currently in Wales. I've stayed with them before, but the spa is new since my last visit. As some of you stated, I'd WBTA if I kept using it and ignored their rules, so I tried it sans swimsuit while they were out at work and that went fine. Obviously felt odd at first, but nothing too scary, and I can see the appeal and reasons for going without. I spoke to 26F that evening and we sat down so I could ask why they have the nudity rule besides it not being a big deal to them. Not mentioning Reddit thanks to the hundreds of accusations against their character on here. She was very understanding and I think we communicated a lot better than the first time it was discussed. She explained that the main reason they chose to spend money on it was so they would have somewhere here that they could use without swimwear. They understand that it isn't for everybody, but they bought it for them, not for anyone else. She said people here have plenty of options if they want to visit a spa in swimwear, and basically I don't have to use their stuff if I don't want to be naked. They mainly had 2 issues. 1. She felt it was rude the way I had asked before to use it whenever I wanted, and that they would have to work around my schedule, which is apparently how I made it sound. I did apologize for way I came across. Point 2. She also made a point that it was not appropriate that I suggested I stayed clothed while her husband was naked in there. I said it had caught me off guard as I wasn't expecting it to apply to guests and just assumed it was that they wanted to be nude but wouldn't expect me to be also. Apparently, the spas they use in the Netherlands require that everybody be naked to use the saunas and pools, etc. Even the changing rooms are mixed gender and you just wear a dressing gown in the restaurant. Most will have a couple of swimwear days where the opposite applies and swimwear is mandatory. So it's an all or nothing thing, which makes it fair for everyone, and that's why they objected to me coming in with them with a swimsuit on. She said it is better for you and the equipment to be naked, especially more hygienic and easier to maintain for them. She explained how important it is to use the shower before and when moving between the hot tub and sauna, as well as to dry off and sit on a towel when in the sauna. Just lots of info that I didn't really have any idea of before. They were happy to agree times that I could use it alone, but had assumed I'd understood that during the day when they were out was the time they had suggested so that I could have privacy. She said if I want to use it in the evenings that I could just check with them and agree separate times so no one intrudes on each other, and that they'd never have barged in without checking that I was either not there or that I was covered up if they thought I was using it nude. I then asked whether I could have worn one of my swimsuits if it was washed appropriately so as not to cause issues for them cleaning the hot tub, and she said that would be fine if I really didn't want to be naked. She didn't recommend wearing a swimsuit in the sauna, but said I could go in wrapped in a towel if I wanted to be covered up. She said she didn't mind me joining her while she used it naked, but that I should just ask 29M if he minded that, because she would find it weird if one of his male friends wanted to come in when she was naked but insisted on being dressed. She suggested they could put some swimwear in to wash so we can all use it together before I leave. If I really wasn't comfortable with the nudity, which was kind of her, I owned up to using it again wearing my swimsuit, and we laughed it off. She just didn't get why I cared because they weren't even home. I did then say that I tried it again without and wouldn't mind trying it again with her. She and I went in together without swimsuits, and she just kind of reassured me that I don't need to be self-conscious or anything and to take my time. Then on the last night I built up the courage to go in with both them. It was completely platonic before anyone asks. Scary at first but also exhilarating. I was definitely making a big effort to maintain eye contact, but 29M was very respectful and I felt at ease with them in the end. I didn't forget that I was naked or anything, but after a little while I was just okay with it, which I wasn't expecting to happen so fast. So no big drama in the end, and while the thought of nudity in front of others still makes me feel uncomfortable, I'm very glad that I gave this a go. Thanks to everyone who offered their advice and support to this first-time nude spa-goer X. Hooray for adults communicating and solving issues without drama. Love to see it. As someone from the Netherlands, I had no idea that being naked in sauna was not the norm. German spas and saunas are the same. Nudity is the norm and in many places also a rule. I have plenty of spas around that state very clearly that you need to be naked in the spa. And that includes the sauna, the jacuzzis, and any other relaxation amenities, including massages. Usually you are expected to carry a towel to sit on, and some now expect people to wear a bathrobe in the cafeteria, restaurant. But beyond that, no fabric to be seen anywhere. If you are not comfortable with that, some have swimwear days. But at the end of the day, the majority have rules demanding nudity. At first it was a bit odd to me. I'm Spanish living in Germany, and in my country wearing a swimsuit in spas is the norm. But once you get rid of the "we don't do it this way" mentality, you just become indifferent to it. They don't care about the nakedness. So why should you? Heck, I've seen people in parks here sunbathing naked, people in the lake in the middle of the city swimming naked, and no one bats an eye. Nudity isn't inherently sexual and they make it feel completely natural. So eventually it becomes completely normal to be around. Can someone explain why it's more unhygienic to use swimwear in such a setting? I honestly don't get it. To me, the couple seemed way too defensive about this. I'm glad they communicated at the end, but it still seems way out of bounds. I remember a certain episode of a reality show I like. A son and his fiancée were living with the son's parents at their house. There was a hot tub at the house. When the parents went out of town, the son and his fiancée got into the hot tub with clothes, bathing suits on. When the parents came back, they were angry that the son and his fiancée had used the hot tub inappropriately, since they did not allow clothing in the hot tub due to interference from laundry detergent and dirt, sweat from clothing. This was actually in a semi-conservative area of America and the parents were Trumpers. The fan response to this episode was wild. Oh, the hot tub is where the parents go to have sex. It's their sex tub. They must be swingers who have naked hot tub parties. They're hiding freaky kinky behavior under a conservative exterior. The parents are swingers actually became fan canon. All because they preferred to be nude in their hot tub. I remember the first time when I went to mixed sauna. It is sometimes to learn. I have tale. When at uni, my WIBTA and a couple of friends went to mixed sauna to de-stress in exam time. Quickly, her BF and my GF renounce. We kept to go together for months and see the usual people. One day we were walking in the street, and we met usual sauna user. He was from another uni, so we salute him. He had a blank, staring at us, then all of a sudden his face illuminated. He said, "Oh, it is you. Sorry, I don't have the habit to see you clothed." If only more adults communicated and acted like this, we probably wouldn't have BORU. Super satisfying read, though. Changing rooms in spas here, the Netherlands, are not mixed gender, and I wouldn't go if they were. If you don't want to be nude, just don't use it. Go to a spa where swimwear is allowed. But it's their own private property, and being nude in a sauna is totally normal. The op wasn't the off for wearing it the first time. But when she continued again and again after being told not to, that changed her status to an off for me. It's fine if you don't want to follow their rule. Just don't use their equipment. My friends are definitely not sexual predators, and it's kind of wild how many people jump to that conclusion. Oh man. Can only imagine some of the comments that likely came up after Reddit decided to try and gaslight Oop into thinking her friends were sexual deviants. I'm from the Netherlands and nah, that ain't true. Tears of joy. Sure, there are nudist spas. But there are also plenty where you can choose to be nude or wear swimwear. It's not so that as Dutchies are all running around naked in all spas and stuff. Tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy. I do feel we might be a lot more comfortable around naked than other cultures. But it's a preference. Everywhere I've been it's been people's choice, though. Woman shrugging, light skin tone. It's still weird that they don't understand that some people would prefer not to be naked in front of others. I mean, the owner is right. It's a lot easier to maintain if people don't wear suits in there. The laundry powder that stays on the clothes mixed in the water tends to cause bubbles to form. It can be a pain to get of them. But I feel like the op was way too insistent about using it when she didn't feel comfortable with the owner's rules. I then asked whether I could have worn one of my swimsuits if it was washed appropriately so as not to cause issues for them cleaning the hot tub, and she said that would be fine if I really didn't want to be naked. She didn't recommend wearing a swimsuit in the sauna, but said I could go in wrapped in a towel if I wanted to be covered up. Why would wearing a towel in the spa be less dirty than a bathing suit? Also, wouldn't that towel just absorb the water and make you have to fill it more? I would be madder at someone using a towel in my spa than a bathing suit. That means I have to get the hose out and fill it. A lot of the filters do work properly if it's under a certain level. I mean, their house, their rules. But just seems like a weird sticking point to be like freshly washed bathing suits are dirty. And they will make me clean the spa more often. I have a spa. We clean it once a week. And we wear bathing suits. Sometimes not. If we are home alone. I have never seen a difference between the cleanliness. Jesus. This is super weird. By the second discussion about this I'd have just said, you can't use our hot tub. Use the hot tub naked or not at all. I'll take not at all, thanks. I am from the Netherlands and I've never heard of this weirdly pushy way the couple are trying to get their friend naked. Also, a swimsuit isn't unhygienic emo. Well, of course you should be naked in the sauna. But I really can't understand why you should be naked in the hot tub. The mentality here is weird. So Oop could be naked in the tub with husband naked. But not if she was clothed and he naked? But yeah, Oop shouldn't have used it if she wasn't on board with the rules.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. EpicAriaCast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.